G'day. Many people have asked me about adding like terms. Many students struggle with this. For example, they might see 7x and 3x added together and have no idea what to do. Or if they do kind of know what to do, something like 2xy plus 4xy, they might do something unexpected, write 6x squared y squared. So what's going on? How can we help students understand adding like terms? So, all right, I'll just share what my brain thinks right now. For example, I really am seeing products everywhere here. Whenever I think of a product, I actually think area. For example, when I say 7 times 10, 7 times 10, I'm thinking of the area of a 7 by 10 rectangle. That product will be its area, 70. And when I see something like 3x, I'm actually thinking of a rectangle again, a 3 by x rectangle whose area would be 3 times x. Okay, so I'm thinking of the area model. I'm thinking of the area model, which is grand and good. And I actually really like the area model because it actually helps me out with everyday life, like something like 17 times 18. Well, the R's would be the area of a rectangle that's 17 inches by 18 inches, but I can chop up rectangles to make life easier for myself. I don't know what to do with number 17, that's hard, but let me split it into 10 inches and 7 inches. I don't know what to do with number 18. That feels hard to me unless I split up into 10 inches and 8 inches. That seems much easier. Which has got 4 areas. I can work them out pretty well. 10 times 10 is 100 units squared, 70 units squared, 80 units squared, and 7 times 8, that's the hard one, 56 units squared. And I can see that this adds up to an area of 100, 180, 250, that's 56. 250 plus 56 is 306. 17 times 18 is 306. All right, so now I'm being very literal. I literally chopped up a picture in geometry, the area with positive side lengths and positive areas. But let's open our minds, because this area model actually applies beyond the realms of geometry. And this is hard for a lot of kids, say, still in a very concrete mindset. Area is meant to be positive, side lengths are meant to be positive, but look at this. I could work out 17 times 18 by opening up my mind and doing something strange, not being locked into the concreteness of geometry. I'll keep 17 as 10 inches and 7 inches, but I'll actually be strange with the 18. Let me think of this as 20 inches and negative 2 inches. I know I kind of have a negative side length in geometry, so I'm not thinking geometry more. I'm thinking about the structure of the arithmetic. This picture is a picture of arithmetic. And look what we get. 10 times 20, that's 200. 7 times 20 is 140. 10 times negative 2. 10 copies of negative 2 is negative 20, and 7 copies of negative 2 is negative 14. And look at these pieces. 200 plus 140, that makes 340. Take away 20, it gives me 320. Take away 14, and I get 306. This is what I love about the area model. It actually applies to all sorts of numbers. It's about the structure of arithmetic, not literally geometry. Though if all the numbers happen to be positive, then it coincides with a geometry picture. Okay, that's subtle, that's deep. But that actually helps with this whole question about adding like terms. For example, let's clean this board. If I have to do something like, I don't know, expanding brackets. I guess people call this distributive rule. For example, if I have to look at, say, I don't know, 3 times x plus 2, well, I'm seeing a product, I'm going to think of an area model. I'm going to think of, okay, a rectangle that's 3 inches by x plus 2 inches, and it seems natural to chop that into x inches and 2 inches explicitly. In which case, I've got this piece, which is 3 by x. This piece is 3 by 2. This must be 3x plus 6. I just see it right there. And I can even go backwards. I can go backwards. For example, I'll do the one that's on the board. Let's look at 7x plus 3x. That looks like 2 areas to me. It looks like an area of 7 times x lumped together with an area of 3 times x. So it makes me think, oh, I must have an area of 7 times x attached with an area of 3 times x. What must the dimensions of the rectangle be? And I see in my mind, oh, this must be x wide, and this one's going to be 7, because 7 times x makes 7x. And this must be 3, because 3 times x makes 3x. I can see it's really x by 10 rectangle, must be x by 10. But I can get rid of my hut now and say, this is really x times 10. Though people like to put the numbers first and variable second, I can rewrite that as 10x. I guess I've just added like terms. Maybe using the area model could actually help. Write down the areas of the pieces you've got, and then see if you can actually work out the dimensions of the rectangle to guide you. All right. Now, what's lovely about this, it actually matches our English language. If I have 7 apples and 3 apples, I will have 10 apples. If I have 7 cows and 3 cows, I'll have 10 cows. And you could read this as saying 7x's plus 3x's equals 10x's. A lot of people just say, think of it that way. But actually, that's sort of intuitive. But you know what? That intuition is completely aligned with the math. The math agrees with that intuition. All right. Then comes something like this one. Okay, I've got a product here. It's a pretty weird product. I've got another product here. It's a pretty weird product. I'm going to think of area and area here, two pieces of area lumped together. So how am I going to handle 2xy plus 4xy? Well, let's see. I'll draw a picture first. I love pictures. Pictures are underrated. I've got a piece of area 2 times x times y and a piece of area 4 times x times y. Can I deduce anything about the rectangle's dimensions? Well, I can see there's a common factor of x. Maybe it's x times something, in which case it's x times, 2y times x will give me that. And 4y times x would give me that. So I can think of it that way. Or maybe I could think of it this way, 2xy and 4xy. Basically a common factor of y that leaves behind a 2x and a 4x, I believe. Yes and yes. Okay. Or I could be like really hyper efficient and do sort of both at once. 2xy and 4xy, I can see is going to be an x and a y. Maybe the side like this x times y there. All right, that value right there, leaving a 2 here and a 4 here, and that seems helpful. That one seems good, because now I can see it's really xy by 6. It's really 6xy's, 6xy's, not x squared, y squared. So I can see that's not actually appropriate anymore. It's 6xy's. So bingo. So maybe a little discussion about using the area model can really help out with understanding adding like terms. I know, that's where my brain went with this question, so hopefully it's helpful.